stage, on stage with Jim and Tom. 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 Tom and Jim.
Tonight we welcome Lolly Gaggers to the stage of the Phoenix Theater. This is a punk band that features paranoid lyrics and a sneering approach, cozying up readily to the fear-based notion of the problematic homosexual. Tonight, we'll get to know the people in this band, and later they'll play some music. Please welcome to the program, Lolly Gaggers.
Welcome.
Hi.
Thank you.
Just for context, because some people would hear the phrase problematic homosexual and they would think, like, what is that? Could you define that phrase for us?
Sure.
You provided it to me.
I did.
In the lead.
I told them all that that's what I wrote today.
Yeah, it's a good quote.
We didn't approve of it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
This is like fresh for us. Yeah, it was really sprung on us last minute, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So would you say you don't cozy up to the idea?
No, go ahead. I want to hear the explanation. So.
Oh, well, I just think that it's fun to have, cheeky little gay shitheads that are running around just destroying shit, where it's society's problem.
I think that's an inspiration for your work
That's
a lot
all,
of the time.
yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the anti-assimilation kind of attitude.
You're really backing down from this problematic homosexual line. now that you're on the spot. Really
I am
easy
on the
when
spot.
you're behind the computer. Now you're
I know, I'm a keyboard warrior.
Yeah.
That's true. No, yeah, I think that it's important to fucking, raise problems, to be, keep people engaged with the message and keep people on their toes. And I don't think that, I think that when at least I can speak for myself. When I'm writing lyrics, I want to, convey a sense of things that are not, fun and happy, but, just being like a queer band. Just, I think there's a lot of feel-good stuff, and I'm not interested in that.
Yeah. It's enough with the feel good.
Mm-hmm.
I once saw this band described as the type of punks who make respectable gays uncomfortable. Do we stand by that description?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah. What would we define as a respectable gay?
Like A gays. I don't know how else to. Like gays that have power and influence.
Yeah.
You can make things happen.
Not us.
Like at a large
Property
scale.
owners.
Yeah.
Property owning gays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gays who get married.
Yeah.
What respectable gays have ever been to our shows?
I'm totally married.
And
I'm also a
With
mother
children.
and a property owner.
and a property owner. I'm all the bad
My
things.
God, you're the enemy.
Yeah.
But
I am.
She's the
Well,
yang to the yin.
Keep your
and-
frenemies
am.
closer,
Right.
Yeah, but she
The
is
lesbians are
driving the whole
supposed
thing.
to.
It is more.
We're
baked
supposed to
into
get
your-
married and make a baby.
How do you make respectable gays uncomfortable?
I think, we like ugly things.
Yeah.
We like ugly things. Some of our lyrics are ugly and they're gross. And gay. The ones that are gay are gross. And so, like we have a song called Chunks where we sing about, butt sex and chunks, and that could be
What's a chunk?
vomit.
What's a chunk?
Well, it could
Yeah.
be what is a chunk?
Yeah.
You tell,
We've had that discussion many times about what are chunks.
What-
It's a MacGuffin, really. It's just sort of whatever.
Dried
you want.
Santorum.
Chunks. Yeah, it's all
Dried
the
Santorum.
it's all the stuff about sex that's like
Do you know about
not
Santorum?
necessarily pretty.
Oh, the Santorum thing is very good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
Anybody want to share what that is? I mean, as long as we're going to dive into the morass.
Was it frothy fecal matter from anal sex?
With lube.
Right,
It's
yeah.
the mix
Yeah,
of lube
yeah,
and
lube and-
fecal matter.
You see, it's fun because the politician, Rick Santorum,
absolutely.
doesn't so much like the gays, and
It's
of course the gays don't so
Google
much like Rick Santorum, so it became a fun thing to co-opt his name and make it a visual thing that we could all enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Dan Savage being a problematic homosexual.
Yeah.
And that was like
That's brilliant.
props to that guy for making that happen.
That would be an example of what I meant by problematic homosexual.
Because he was the one who came up with that. He basically just out of whole cloth was just like, what should we call this? And they're like, Santorum. And like, all right. Yeah. No. It was the other way around. They said, what should we call Santorum? And
Yeah.
then someone made up that it's that mix of stuff. And he said, yes. And then went with that.
Mm-hmm.
and then it became a Google problem.
My favorite quote ever about this band was written around when you formed, and it was about how there's nothing more punk than singing about taking raw loads.
Chunks.
bad.
Yeah. Do you actually
There are a
have
lot more
songs
punks out there than I
that are you actually have songs that are about that, or is that just like a funny thing?
Yeah.
That was Chunks.
We have a song called Chunks, and that's what it's about.
Okay.
I feel like taking raw loads is the most mainstream gay thing. I mean,
It's on buses now, like ads for Truvada, like with his like abuelita and the little like grandma who's like with their son. She's like, I'm so proud of him because he's protecting himself.
He's
like,
taking
with his
raw
boyfriend.
loads.
He's taking raw loads, but with prep. So he's doing it. That's the thing. It's like
prep
it's an
is-
ad
the
for
prep
prep,
is-
so they can take raw loads.
Maybe a good prompt, maybe not. When you're in the practice space or hanging out, you probably joke with each other. You probably have some fun. Do you have any good bits that you're doing right now? Any things that you'd want to share?
Awfully presumptuous of you.
Yeah, well, some bands like each other, some bands don't. Some bands laugh, some bands don't. So I'm going out on a limb by assuming that you both like each other and laugh. But you strike me as people who would maybe have some good bits,
I don't think we recycle material that much.
That's true. It's we're more like a jazz
Spur of
band.
the
We just
moment
sort
sort of
like
thing?
riff on each other, just like
Yeah.
zap 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 zwap, and then that's kind of it. We forget. I forget. Like I wouldn't be able to bring something.
I just feel like a band like this, because you're all, are you all over 30, would you say?
Yes.
Almost all of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Except for Carrie.
Except for our baby boy.
Baby.
Yeah. Because I would imagine with a group like this, there would be less concern about censoring oneself on a platform like this, or even on a stage, Sometimes when we have younger people on, people are very worried. People are very worried that they will document anything that someone might look at and think of them in a bad way.
Phew, thank God I'm past that stage.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
nice.
Do you feel like you experienced that, though, when you were younger?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for long. I mean, I remember making a conscious decision when I was like, I just don't give a shit anymore. So that was fun.
What changed? You were just like, this is too exhausting?
Yeah, it's just like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with age. Is like, oh, it doesn't matter. Okay. Some stuff does, but, for the most part, no one really pays that much attention.
Luckily, we're old enough to where we don't care.
It
Well,
doesn't
most of us are
matter.
old enough to where we don't
How
care.
old are you?
How old do you think I am?
You're not gay either, right?
I would say yeah, my
You
friend.
are?
Yeah, yeah.
You're gay? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
How old are you?
34.
34. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm passable.
As what? As what?
That's straight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just
apparently so, yes.
yeah.
I thought
Didn't
you
go
were
off.
straight too.
Yeah, well, it's fun, That's why life is fun. You don't know. You just don't know. Also,
No.
I can open the interview the way that I did. I could not
How
speak
did you
so.
open it?
I just was I was being jokey and punchy about the problematic homosexual stuff. I feel like if I wasn't in the seat that I sit in and I wasn't attracted to people of the same sex, I feel like that'd be a real problem. I feel like you shouldn't be so catty about something if you're not a part of that world. You know what I mean? And maybe you disagree because you're older and cooler.
Well, I think that's the thing with generations. The rules change, and then the younger generation helps to define the new rules, and that's what we get upset about is when we get told what the new rules are, and then we're like, but that's not how we used to do it. And then then you're Louis C.K. and then you're yelling about getting real racist
Bunch
and
of bullshit,
misogynist and
yeah.
transphobic all of a sudden. That was essentially. Did you hear that rant that he did?
Yeah,
It
that
was
bullshit fucking.
Yeah, I
rant.
mean, it's just this is the jokes that he's going to now. So, and that's what happens when people call him out. They called him out on his bullshit, and then he got defensive, and then doubled down. He's like, all right, this is who I am. I didn't learn anything. I learned. I don't want to learn anything.
I would say I like flashing, but I don't like that kind of flashing
To explain flashing.
where you just are showing everything. This is who I really am, a piece of shit the whole time.
you
I'd
like
prefer to
doing
see-
that yourself, or you like? Seeing
I would
when other
prefer
people
to
do it?
see just a penis.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Flashing. Okay, because it's two different
much.
things.
Too
Yeah, like Louis C.K. was flashing.
Well, he is going insane too. I mean, that's part of it.
Yeah.
There's something. Yeah, that wasn't a deliberate thing. That was just him lashing out because he wants his career back. Oh well, too bad. Sorry, just jerked off in a plant. So
Isn't that an interesting thing? One of the most interesting things I think of the Me Too movement is how many powerful men jerk off in plants.
Apparently,
I was
a
shocked.
lot.
I actually I'd never heard of.
Why? Like, do any of them claim that it has like a function for the plant?
I'm being a little glib when I say that. It's what it actually is a phenomenon I was not familiar with, which is people start. Well, listen up, you're going to love this. Some of these men, including Louis C.K., would just start masturbating in front of women who did not know they were going to be doing that. Some weird power thing or whatever. Some fetish thing. I don't know. And then the plant joke is that. They would go to completion and they would use a plant to deposit their seminal fluids.
Except that's what Louis C.K. actually did. So,
Yeah.
like, that wasn't a joke.
Well, no, but all the men jerking off into plants, that was a joke. But
Yeah.
I think Harvey Weinstein did something similar. I don't know.
Yeah, his jizz went
That's a
everywhere.
waste of semen.
Yeah. What would you prefer they do with it?
Eat it.
Who else?
I
What
feel
else do you do? With
Well, no, because these men.
except take raw loads of it up your butt.
Yes.
Or in your mouth,
thank you.
apparently.
Well, yes. I mean, clearly.
You eat it better that way. I don't know.
The problem with
With
these.
my south mouth.
See, now we're getting somewhere. No, they wouldn't do that. It would be too gay for them to eat their own semen.
I was wondering, do straight people think that? Like, do straight men think that if they eat their own cum, it's gay?
Some do.
Tom Gaffey?
Look, so here I need to be honest. If any of you know anything about South Park, I can't even handle watching Mr. Hanky jump on people's faces. This
conversation about raw loads.
I don't know what to make of it, but holy cow, it takes a lot to
you know
get
what?
me uncomfortable. But I gotta say, fucking congratulations, guys.
Hey,
This is incredible.
we're doing problematic homosexuality.
God,
Right?
this episode is
I
a
get it.
snapshot of problematic homosexuality.
This is problematic homosexuality
Far
in
out.
action.
If it's your own dick, it's
Right.
gay.
But you know what? In the hedonistic world that we live in, I think
Straight
it,
guys suck their own dicks with
right.
it.
I think
why wouldn't
I
you?
think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
possible.
Do straight guys suck their own dicks?
That's
If
the,
they
that's the
can,
question I really
absolutely.
want to know the answer to. Is it gay if straight men suck their own dick?
No.
I think a lot of straight teenagers try it.
No, absolutely.
Well, we've all
It's
tried
not
it.
gay.
It's not
But-
gay.
Well, how would that
Okay.
be
Most
more
of us.
gay than jerking off?
Because they're putting their mouth on a penis.
Jerking
Well,
off is a
right, but
utilitarian.
You're giving yourself a
thing.
hand job, too.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not how it's framed, though.
No, every dude wanted to be able to suck their own
Do you
dick.
get paid for that? Anyway,
I feel like there would be a lot of men who would be uncomfortable with sucking their own dick because there would be a dick in their mouth.
Right,
the
but
payoff
there's a
would be
lot of
worth it.
horny.
They don't
like,
know much about
14-year-olds.
comfort.
No.
I guess.
No, they don't.
And again, in this world, I think there's probably more straight guys that drink what is that? How is it called?
Drink?
Well, whatever it's called. I mean, come in their
Good
mouth.
Lord.
That's impressive. Let me get your number.
Okay, really. At any rate, I think there's more of that going on than even I. Now that I consider it, hell yeah.
What are you supposed to do with it, you know?
Well, I don't
Exactly.
know.
See, your point, it's like, might as well do something with it. But
Shake.
It's a great way to check if you're eating enough fruit.
Well, maybe
Yes.
that's maybe
Well,
so they're
please.
feeding the plants.
You're drinking a lot of coffee.
How
this
do you
morning.
know if you're eating enough fruit?
Well, if your cum tastes good.
Sweet.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
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 It's a way of testing.
So
I mean, is that really the gauge of enough fruit, or is that just like you're eating a lot of fruit, or like a healthy amount of fruit?
Yeah, I feel like
Was it
I
like-
know the difference between unhealthy diet based on their cum.
But there is something like
Like
about
if
the
somebody
fructose
eats
or
Arby's
something
for a
like
week
that.
versus
Yeah.
if somebody
Well, I know
has
it
a
can
well-balanced
sweeten it,
diet.
but I
you
just
know?
didn't know like if yours wasn't overly sweet, does that mean you have
How
like,
much
a
fruit is too much fruit?
deficiency?
Well, there's a lot of sugar in
think it's-
fruit, in my opinion.
think so.
Not big on.
I think if you're leaky,
I like fruit.
probably. I don't know.
Everybody at the table, can you tell healthy cum versus not healthy cum?
Eden.
I can't.
Well, and that's fine.
Yeah.
we're not all going to be band do it.
What do you?
But I
gauge?
really
How
pay
do you-
attention to them, and I learn. So
Yeah, it's good.
See, this is the thing with Eden being the one woman in the band is that she gets to hear a lot of these kinds of conversations and just
it's yeah.
and just like okay, all
It's
right,
good.
yeah.
I think if you look at it from like a biological perspective, it's fascinating, because it's like you could Google
Oh,
for
yeah.
these answers, but why not just go straight to the source?
guess you could.
Well, rather it's telltale. I mean, I think cum is cum, but You know,
Oh,
if you
well,
can
this-
tell, if you're like, oh, well, let me, you know.
You can tell when they're dehydrated.
You can tell when they're dehydrated.
Ew.
You can
See, I
tell when they
didn't
eat a
know-
lot. Well, you can tell when they eat a lot of meat.
Exactly.
See, I knew
If
that.
it tastes like hot dogs, you know something's off.
Smokers,
Hot dog
for
water
sure.
cum.
watch a
Smokers
lot of
and
baseball.
coffee drinkers.
hot dog
You can
water.
tell.
Does it taste like coffee?
It just tastes like bitter. It's like astringent. So
Yeah.
I was like, drink some pineapple juice.
Yeah. Make it sweeter. Sweeten it up.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
It's for the community.
It is. Well,
It-
yeah,
I
at
know.
large. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we've really learned some things. Is it just like all scar tissue now for you in terms of your discomfort level?
No, I feel like I run in very dirty circles, and I feel very comfortable with what I walked into as a band.
Yeah.
My wife is sneakily dirty.
Not so
And-
sneakily.
Not
Yeah, I was
so
gonna say
sneakily dirty.
sneakily.
She's not. It's not sneaky.
What do
In
you-
her friend groups, and you know, when I do watch porn, it's dude on dude, so I feel pretty comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Sick.
That's an interesting thing.
Yeah. Tight.
This is a personal
Just a-
question, but like, why?
Yeah, that.
Why?
I know that's a personal question, but I'm just, you know, I wouldn't have assumed that, and it's interesting to learn that fact.
I've been terrible. I've always been really terrible at a personal exploration that way, trying to think about that on the spot.
It's just fun. You could just say
But-
it's just fun.
Yeah, it's super fun and it's action packed.
Like when was the first one that? When was the first one that you remember seeing? Like the first game.
Well, I just read Chi LaRue's autobiography, and she is a big time porn producer, gay male porn. And I read it like in the early '90s, like when I lived in Alabama. And so because I liked biographies, and I just thought that would be good. And so then I started looking up all her movies, and she had got into some really good stuff and was, I mean, I'm totally promoting Chi LaRue.
It's good. I think you could
I hope
introduce
she
a whole
wants
new
to meet
generation.
me.
If you'd like, I can put this clip online, and maybe we can try to make some
No.
magic happen through the
No,
internet.
God, I would melt.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wanted to check out one of her higher end movies, and so that was back when you actually had to buy videotapes, and so I went and bought who was the guy? I can't remember. I kind of became fascinated with him because I went and also got the Adam Gay video guide that highlighted each porn performer, so I could look at their personal attributes and what movies they were in and really make an educated decision on what I was going to buy. And so I ended up getting some really high-end ones based on some Chi LaRue stuff.
High end.
Yeah, because
What?
there's $14 ones and there's $60 ones then, and so I
Oh,
got
that's
the
right.
$60
In the like
ones.
VHS days.
Yeah.
Yes, totally. It
that's
was all
right.
VHS. There weren't
Because there was
no-
way more scenes in like the $60 one.
Yeah, way more scenes, and they were really
It was like a
tight, and there was a
director's cut.
beginning and an end, and there wasn't a lot of bullshit.
Right.
And
And like
so
more
it was, yes.
well known.
And all they would
desirable.
borrow the Falcon guys, and
Yeah,
they would
right.
borrow the Bellamy guys, and all that shit.
Bellamy, no.
You don't like the Bellamy? So just to the uninitiated, Bellamy is like a production house, right?
It's like Euro Twink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Falcon 2. And so you liked it when the Bellamy
Yeah,
Falcon
we're
guys would
talking
come
like in the '90s. So I mean, I didn't necessarily like the Bellamy either. I was more like more falcony.
Yeah.
But I
More sporty.
Yeah, yeah.
but I'm just saying
So
the
bad.
first one I bought was
Super
like.
Did you ever dabble
I
in
can't remember.
Mustang or Jocks?
See, I'm familiar with those two. Are
Those were the
two out of business
offshoots,
now?
right?
Those are offshoots of
Offshoots,
Falcon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you say the $60 ones were better,
The $60 ones were definitely better, and actually 60 might be cheap. They were probably more. But anyway, I just bought a few of those, and then started reading biographies. I read Joey Stefano's post-mortem. He was a porn performer. He was in Madonna's sex book that she did, and I think he ended up dying. He was working here at the Nob Hill Theater at some point. Did
Oh,
you
wild.
know him, Joey Stefano? So I just started kind of going down that genre of reading up on the gay boys. That was before I lived here. So then I was extra excited when two of them were on a float my first year here 15 years ago.
oh, it's like a celebrity sighting. My God.
It felt great. Yeah.
You're such a fanboy. I didn't realize that it was
Totally
this
was.
deep.
I don't
was
know
like,
anything
I
now.
knew that you like dude porn, but I didn't realize that you had like catalogs.
So you had
and
like a
like-
favorite guy,
right?
Well,
You-
yeah. I mean,
But you don't remember
when I
it.
got my catalog for the year. I'm like, I need to sit down and see who's new.
It's like your baseball team. It's like,
I mean,
you're
I
like-
haven't done that in years. I'm 49 now, but I really enjoyed it at
That's
the time.
impressive. That's really cool.
I still have all the back issues of the Adam Gay Video Guide.
Oh,
Can I borrow them?
Yeah.
research. It's just research.
When you say it didn't have a lot of bullshit, like, do you mean like conversation type bullshit?
I think like people trying to act enjoyed the movies where they don't try to act.
What if it's good
Unless
acting?
it's like a hockey
Was there
team.
ever good acting? Was there ever good acting in those?
Not that I noticed.
I thirst for good acting. I don't want a lot of it.
But again, that was the 90s. Maybe everyone's just really tightened up now. I don't really know. I don't want to judge gay male porn.
they're not good at it still.
Because, that was me just looking for,
There's never
other
story
stuff.
anymore. There's rarely. And you have to seek out story.
right?
Like it's a specific thing now. Like it's like assume no story unless
Unless it's a
otherwise-
story about someone taking raw loads.
Well,
That's
Right.
a common story.
I mean, that is the story.
Right.
Tale as old as time.
It is, isn't it? The beast.
I always think of Angela Lansbury when I think of guys taking raw loads.
a little teapot pouring a bunch of stuff out.
Well, any favorite porn performers at the table all time? Or do you even frame it that way? Because obviously you do. You have your favorites.
I don't even remember anymore. Those
Yeah.
days ago.
Yeah.
The thing about
I do.
the thing about living somewhere where there's a lot of gay people is that a lot of the performers you see on the screen are people who you know in real life sometimes, and
Which is why I watch straight porn.
I fucking
Okay.
love that. Is that true?
Yeah,
Yeah.
too many of my friends having good times with each other on the
Have
laptop.
you ever been
Whoa.
browsing the internet and then you're like, all right, time to just enjoy my body, and then you're getting ready, you got like 12 tabs open, and then you're surfing through one, you're like, all right,
Edging.
this massage one's pretty good, all right, but let's see it's back, let's see it's back.
oh,
You're getting
it's-
really close, you get to the 6th tab, and there's somebody you know, and you're
Yeah.
like, I can't do
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Just soft as hell.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Ready to enjoy my body. I'm totally using that. That was amazing.
no, it's just
I'm
maintenance,
stealing
I can
that
sleep.
too.
Yeah, good. I feel like I'm getting a few gay cred points now. I started out with 0, and now
We didn't know you were playing the game. Like that was the thing. I was
We
like,
didn't.
are you on the table? Oh.
he does that.
Yeah, I guess. So.
well, it's important not to focus on me. We're focusing on the table, the
Sure.
porn viewing habits,
no.
the edging. Just fun. What's edging, by the way, just for the people who don't know? I love the term, but I would rather not define it.
Giving up.
Giving up. What?
Edging is not giving up.
It's the opposite of giving up.
Well, it depends on your actually perspective on the matter.
I never give up.
Yeah.
It's
Because giving up. Okay.
okay. So to me, edging is like bringing I guess yourself or the person or persons you're with to like the edge of having an orgasm, but like keeping them there and not letting them come,
Yeah.
but just keeping them there and then protracting that for a long time until they're like begging,
Yeah.
and then
Please,
keep
God.
protracting it more, and then it gets to an uncontrollable point, and it's like then you can drink it.
Yeah.
and then you.
Well, there's more. If you do it right, there'll be more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Those unfamiliar with the human body.
Your body enjoys it more.
Yeah.
When it's happened.
Edging makes me miss Craigslist.
Why?
I mean, what else would you do? So just I feel like everyone was just browsing the casual encounters, thinking about what could be. A lot of them
Misconnections.
didn't
God,
have
the
photos, so you had
misconnections
to.
were so good.
So a lot of them didn't have photos, so you had to imagine. And then you're on page 20, and it's 3 a.m.
See, that's the fun thing about.
And you've been riding that wave, enjoying
Yeah.
your body.
I don't know how
And
to.
you wasted your entire night.
There are.
I
so-
view edging as kind of a waste of time personally, but
Well, sure you do. You're a young man. No edging for you. On to the next one. On to the next one. But yeah, like the era of using Craigslist as like a hookup service is something that bypassed a lot of people, but is like a very, very interesting thing to study. Because they've cut it down now, or cut it out now. It was like in the last year, Craigslist got shut down, the connection side of things,
they shut it down voluntarily.
because they were concerned, though, right, about some sort of legal action or something.
It was getting
So it's
dangerous, wasn't it?
Well, I think that was what they would
Well,
have you believe to
yeah,
get
that's-
public opinion.
yeah,
on the side
publicly,
of it.
that's
Well,
weird.
what happened was the passage of Foston Sesta, which is legislature, I think March of 2018, that prohibited adult online adult content designed to solicit sex. So the way that it was phrased and the reason why it passed in the House and really quickly was because it was framed as like an anti-trafficking issue, when in reality soliciting for sex on websites is safer than doing so, for example, like on the street. It's less risky. You have control over screening clients.
Isn't that what Tinder's about, really? Or am
Well,
I
I'm talking
wrong
about
on that?
sex work versus just
Oh, okay.
casually hooking up.
Okay.
And so a lot of so Craigslist saw this coming, so they took down their own personal section because they knew that people were soliciting sex for money. That's also why Backpage closed down and some other sites, and this is why Tumblr doesn't allow adult content anymore. It's all related.
Is Rent Boy gone?
Rentboy's been gone, I think.
But rent.men.
Rent Men is still up, but I think it's because it's Euro based.
Is it? Oh, okay.
I think that might be why.
I was wondering.
But still,
Rent Boy was fun because you would you'd read about like the ugly far right conservatives passing all the laws, and then you'd find out that they had accounts on Rent Boy and they're taking like boys out or young men out.
tale as old as time.
Tale as old as time. Angela Lansbury, I love her.
Bring her back.
Anyway, Craigslist was fun. That era was fun because I don't know if you ever did this, any of you, but like sometimes you have an interaction with somebody in a public space and you're like, wonder if they're going to write a misconnection about this. Did you ever do that ever?
I read all of the misconnections,
did
hoping
too.
that I was the one that I was missed. I
This is what I'm
totally
talking
did
about.
that. But I would read them. I
Totally.
would be like,
You don't know what that is, do you?
No, I get it. I mean, I can figure it out, but that's Was that Craigslist?
they had it.
so
Well, there was
fucking good.
when I mean, it was like in the weekly newspapers. It was like the alternative papers. They had it in Chicago at the Reader and the Dallas Observer. And it was like a misconnection when I was in high school. Obviously, it wasn't going to be me. But whenever I moved out, I was like, maybe I'm that guy. I'm like, I'm kind of tall. But I'm not. 240. So sorry, that's not me. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Craigslist was, correct me if I'm wrong, a little before my era, but Craigslist was a pretty prolific like hookup zone, wasn't it? We're not talking sex for money, just like people looking to hook up.
As well.
Some of the hottest guys I ever had sex with were from Craigslist.
I love that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome. And then they would tell me that they would kill me if I told anybody.
I love that. That
To
actually
delete their
happened.
number.
People
It
said
happened
that?
one time. Yeah,
Oh.
it's awesome.
What was his name?
He's gonna kill.
Yeah,
me.
I'm not.
tell
I said I wouldn't tell. It was in Santa Rosa too.
Yeah. Do you still see him sometimes?
No.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Not sexually. Just like you're walking around. You're like, hey, it's the guy that I have this secret about.
Yeah, I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly even what I don't even know if I saw him on the
Look,
street.
you're
if I would
afraid.
know.
You're afraid you're going to get killed.
afraid for my
We
life.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Which was so awesome.
Yeah.
It was really hot.
So you had the sex, and then after, when did he say it to you? When he's in bed with you, or when you're leaving?
As he was leaving, I hosted.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
worth it.
It was good. It was good. The self-loathing may have helped with the sexual experience. It's like really getting out all that
Pent up.
The
It took him a long time to get into it.
Just fun. Any other porn? Fun? You ever watch porn, Tom?
Well, speaking of hosting, earlier today I was watching a porn, and the premise was like some drifter was in town, right? Like stayed like with some kind of roughshod boarder at this man's house, and while he was getting fucked, I don't know if it's a good line or bad line, or just weird and stupid, but he said, "Yes, give me that big hosting cock." But this was like mid '90s. It was really odd choice.
Like-
I was like, that is
I can't think of another adjective, so I'm just gonna go with
that hosting
I think
cock.
I'm going to throw into my language.
You think that was an improv, or do you think he was fed that line by the director?
was in the throes of passion.
I would have to say, based on his other lines, I would say it was his choice.
Yeah.
Clear this was his little artistic like.
Well, I think he really
contribution.
bought into his role as a drifter.
Oh yeah.
He was playing it like he had this. There was this whole like highway to heaven kind of quality about his character. Michael Landon. Yes, Michael Landon, Merlin Olsen sandwich.
Yeah.
Please. But yeah. It was like touched by an angel. Like he drifts into the lives of these men, and grants them his butthole and then moves on.
See,
But
you thought plot
touching
was
their
bad.
world.
How did they meet? He's walking down the street and then like a guy drives by and or did you skip forward?
He
into
was wearing flip flops.
Uh
I didn't really catch the beginning.
huh. You just skipped ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you skip ahead too far and then you got to back up. You want to
Well,
skip
I
the
mean, if-
storyline, but you want to see
I suppose if
first
you
gear, second
are
gear.
really invested, you could back up.
Yeah.
I like a little story. I don't.
Thank
I
you,
like.
yes.
Yeah. I mean,
a little seduction, a little
something.
believable
I want to know
seduction.
what the scenario is. Like, give me. It doesn't need to be a long intro, but sometimes when they just cut away, it's sort of like, how did they get there?
Less is
like,
more,
What did they
you
take
know?
a car?
That's
did like
the
someone
actor in
like
you
drive?
coming out,
I just
Blair.
want to know their motivation. Like, I just want to know like what was the exchange? Was there an exchange or any exchange? Like when they just meet? Like what happened there?
So the first time Lolly Gaggers ever appeared on the screen was in a porno.
Tell us more.
Context.
The actor is named Damien Dragon, and he's wearing our T-shirt designed by Critter in I think is green because we hand colored. Well, Critter hand colored each of our T-shirts on our first run of them. So each lollipop is a different color, so you get to choose your flavor, right?
Yeah.
And so he chose green, and he's wearing green in a film production that came out over the summer.
In the intro, which is actually like it's the setup to the story.
It's
which
the
I was,
so also bringing back the situational. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, so our shirt is so someone is wearing our shirt in a porn. Where that's the scenario, but I think it's all of 30 seconds, and then they're inside of a.
Do you remember the storyline of that particular?
Yeah, it's a.
good.
Do I ever?
Great story.
No, it's they start out outside. It's like semi-public, and then they go into a shack, and it's like everyone's blowing each other.
Isn't it
Yeah, it was
called
like
like
a
Blowjob
specialized
Shack or
blowjob
something?
hut.
It's called
Blowjob
That's
Hut.
right. I couldn't
It's
remember
Called
it.
what?
It's called Blowjob Hut.
Yo, dude, you haven't been down to the blowjob hut? Blowjob hut? Exactly. You look like you're ready for it.
Let's go.
Yeah?
Sure.
You never been before? No.
First time for everything.
Do you have your blue hanky?
No.
No. Here, I have an extra for you, man.
Nice.
There you go. Just hang that out of the left side.
Oh, okay.
There we go. That way they'll know that you want it.
All right.
Come on, man. Follow me.
It was a specialized.
I love that.
Go in that hut. You can get a
Eden
blowjob.
remembers.
Eden remembers.
Eden knows.
Eden has the catalog.
I know. She's like, oh, I already saw it before.
Look, that
you.
was another life for Eden.
No, I don't know. I'm not so sure.
I was taken by the title.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's very striking.
I was
Yeah.
really, really happy that we were in that interlude too, because it really goes along with what I'm saying. But then once the sex starts, it's like we're gone. Then it's like shirts
Everyone
off.
forgot about
Correct.
Lolly Gaggers.
Which is fine.
Yeah, correct.
Damn it!
We're just crusty on the bottom of the under the bed.
I'm so undignified. Oh well.
That works.
But that's true to the spirit, I guess.
Do
of
we are
everything.
we going to see like the Lolly Gaggers in some type of a soundtrack eventually?
I feel like this is not the type of. Are you talking porn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you don't often see this type of music in porn.
Oh, that's the
I mean, maybe if it was like Bruce LaBruce or something.
right. But that's again like
What's
a-
his deal, Bruce and Bruce? You're nodding like you know this guy.
He likes
No, I'm
zombie
just saying-
skinhead punk porn.
Yeah,
he
there
makes
you
it.
go.
But it's very like a story. Like it's not the whole point of the movie.
It's like stylized.
Or he has like porn edits of longer films.
You
That
need to get one of
contain-
your songs in one of his movies.
we're recording a 7-inch, so that's maybe something that we could to send off. That would be awesome.
I'm loving like the
there's
interweaving between like the business and the pleasure in this interview.
Well, that's the whole thing.
Well,
but
welcome to
honestly,
the problematic gay. That's what we are.
I feel like we're really capturing the problematic gay thing.
our
Young Skater Takes Raw Load featuring soundtrack by Lolly Gaggers.
that would be something I'd be very proud of.
Carrie, when you were on last time, you said, because this band had just formed, I think in 2017, and you said that the thing that you were most excited about for the future was Lolly Gaggers, because it was to be able to make punk music was a dream come true with a group of gay weirdos.
Yeah, they're pretty weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I stand by that quote.
You know, I am from Sonoma County, and so being able to be on this stage and have this interview more than once now has been really crazy. I'm very lucky because I never thought when I was a teenager coming to shows here that this would be the case. So, and especially as like, I mean, like we talked about before too, it's not like, you know, you or I were the only queer people here by any means, but by seeing, you know, just in a short amount of time, I mean, I haven't lived here for a while, but I'm seeing like more younger queer people who are coming out to shows, and like I don't remember that being the case when I was at them, and so that's awesome. And to be in a band of other people who are queer and we like to make music that we like is cool. So yeah, that's
you guys are saving lives. I don't know if you understand that position, but I've been here for 30 years, and we've lost 3 kids to suicide due to sexual confusion and shame. The fact that it's coming out finally and can be spoken of bravely and freely, it's giving the kids the chance to realize, oh, far out, I'm not fucked up. I mean, I hate to take the fun out of it, but it's important work.
No, we can joke about porn storylines and raw loads and also be doing...
Yeah, weirdly, you know what, here's the thing, though, because a lot of times, because I'm dealing with a lot of teenagers down here and I'm hearing this conversation, and more times than not, I'm coming in on a conversation with a crew of guys. I'm guys, calm the fuck down here. You know, it's mixed company. There's little kids. Can we stop this now? And so I'm listening to this conversation thinking, wow, this is something I can't even let happen too often down here.
we're very lucky.
You are. Wow. Here we are. What a show.
No, I mean, I second that. I'm happy you guys do what you do. And I know that's not the point, but I also, and you talked about this during the Cochina Root episode, the byproduct of channeling your creative energy into something that you think is representative of, you know, yourself and your art is that other people see it and they say, all right, cool, maybe I'll do that. And even if I'm not going to do that, I see you doing it and it makes me feel less alone.
Oh, yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good way to kind of wind down the episode, unless anybody has anything to say about this project. Any thoughts on porn, Craigslist, gay porn, straight porn, raw loads, raw loads. It's been fun, and I appreciate you all sitting here and chatting with us and making the music that you make. Ever since we had Cochina Root on, I've been looking forward to having Lolly Gaggers on, and I'm just thankful that you all came and joined us, made the trip from San Francisco, Oakland. So thank you for doing that.
Thanks for doing it. This was great.
Fun. I had a good time.
Yeah. I like how with you all, I feel like I don't have to apologize for the interview being as whatever it just was. Because
shouldn't we apologize? Are we supposed to do that?
No. People will listen to this.
My mom's not getting a link to this.
I know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, so many people are not going to hear
My mom is getting a link to this.
You're not going to send your mom a link to it? Would she really be surprised by the raw loads?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't talk about
the raw loads. We don't talk with her about the raw loads.
No, there's
weird.
I'm not kidding. Look, it's tough for me to watch certain things on TV because it just...
Like sex things?
Well, yeah. Well, no, again, I keep coming back to South Park, man. There's some stuff that they do there that's, fuck, dude, too gross.
Yeah.
I got to go wash my
wait
hands.
till you see some good raw loads clips. I'll send you some in a little bit. Anyway, thank you all for joining us tonight. And now, in just a moment, we have a performance from Lolly Gaggers. Thanks again for joining us, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.